Hello everybody, I'm glad you're here today. Today is February 6, 2025. In this video, I'm going to show you a treasure that I have that I think you're going to like too. It is a prepping item that can help you through thick and thin. So I'm going to show you that here in a minute. I am going to talk about just ever so briefly the things I'm seeing happening in the world that are just of interest to me. I don't know if you can call them red flags or probably not on that level, but just some things I'm noticing. Here's what I think. I mean, I don't know if you care what I think about or not, but I'll just put it out there and see if a lot of times I feel like I am alone in the world. Like I'm on an island all by myself, but I don't think that's true. I think there's a lot of people, like-minded people, and I think this channel, like, we kind of plug into each other, which I kind of like. I also want to talk about what happened yesterday morning with our weather. Okay, let's just briefly, let's go with world events. All right, world events, y'all. I just my eyebrows raise. I can just say, oh, is that what we're doing now? Might just say, like, my eyebrows. The whole Netanyahu press conference where Trump said we're going to own the Gaza Strip. I don't know if that was just off script and just he was just, saying something or whatever. But I was like, and I'm not sure that BB didn't kind of go, what did you say? What did you say? That's kind of what I felt like. It felt like that. I certainly did that. What he said, we're gonna own the, and I was like, we're gonna own it? What did you say? I mean, I didn't know we were. I mean, look, we've got Iceland, we've got the Panama Canal, we've got Canada, and now we got the Gaza Strip. I mean, it's kind of, are these land grabs, or are these just, I'm not sure yet. Watching watching with my eyebrows raised and pretty much going, oh, is this what we're doing now? Okay. Okay, I'll just keep gathering my stuff. Now, I also want to tell you one of the reasons I prep. Okay, we're just going to go to basic prepping 101. So we're shifting gears here a little bit. One of the reasons I prep is because I honestly believe it is better to be prepared than caught off guard. I have lived long enough. I've lived long enough where I've been caught off guard and thought, well, I wish I would have been more ready for this. So I lesson learned. Now, so here's what I do. Usually in the winter, and I'm kind of coming out of the winter now, usually that's when I slow down a lot in my prepping. I usually make a big push during the fall. And that's just the way I do it. If you are just beginning prepping, all right, here's my suggestion. I can just tell you what I did, and I know there are people on this channel, viewers, that are just rock stars, y'all. You just do things brilliantly, and I know they would have something to offer more. So if you want to put in the comment section, how did you start prepping? What was the first items? The first thing I did, I bought medical items to begin with. That would be like blood pressure cuff, bandages, tape, medical tape, books on medicine, and not tinctures is what comes to mind, but like herbal remedies, things that you might do if you don't have regular medicines. So alternative medicines, is that whole medicines? I don't know, whatever you're gonna call it, y'all. I don't even know. But that's what I did. I did that, and then I moved into beans and rice. Beans and rice are not expensive at the moment. They're higher than they were a few years ago, and they'll probably go up. But I went ahead and I did it through like online orders, because I didn't want people looking at me in the grocery store when I was buying 20 pounds of rice or 20 pounds of beans or whatever. Anyway, I just stocked up, and I bought some white, I'm looking at them right down here. I've got my buckets right here. I bought some food grade buckets, and just get on YouTube, y'all. Get on the University of YouTube, y'all, and you will learn so much, and for free. So if you want to get some food grade buckets and start filling those and stacking them up, that's what I did. Same with pasta. I got all those dry goods that last a long time. So that's the first things I did. And canned goods, canned soups with meat in them. That's just all I did, y'all. And I'm not going to tell you beyond that, because then it goes kind of up to another level. But if you're just beginning, that's that's just one little baby step you can take that might help you. All right. Now then, let me talk about what happened to us yesterday. No, I'm going to leave that. I'm going to leave that till the end. I want You're going to like it. It was so weird yesterday. I'm talking about the weather. What it did here yesterday was really freaking weird. Okay, right now, since we're talking about prepping, all right, I'll show you this, all right? This is, I got this for Christmas, all right? My mom is 81. Is that right? Yeah, she's 81. And she was having, her December was not good. She had a hard December, and then Christmas Eve she crashed. We spent the night, Christmas morning I was in the hospital. And no, it's not the first Christmas morning I've been in the hospital. It was actually the third out of my life, maybe third or fourth Christmas morning I'd been in the hospital. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Everybody's had mornings like that. Everybody's had holidays like that. So I know I'm not alone. But my mom she bought us gifts, okay, from Amazon. She did the regular send her a link, buy the gift thing. And then she also went through her hope chests, okay, and got stuff out of her hope chest to give us. Now then, if you don't know what a hope chest is, most of you probably do. I don't know if you do. If you had a hope chest, or your mama did, just put it in the comment section below. I got a hope chest when I was 11 years old. I still have my hope chest. It's right by my bed, and it's full of. It used to be full of my hope, like dishes and home items and things. You hope you'll be able to marry and start your own home. That was the concept of hope chest back in the day. I don't even know if people do it anymore. Like I said, my mama has a hope chest. I have a hope chest. My daughter has a hope chest. My mother-in-law has a hope chest, y'all. It's a cedar chest. Ours are cedar. It could be anything, but ours are cedar chests. And now what's in mine are my treasures, my children's things, and things like that. Okay, so that's hope chest. All right, and you put things you hope in. So there's a whole bunch of spiritual equivalents to that. What are you putting your hope in? And clearly our hope is in Christ Jesus, the Son of God, and our belief in him, that he saved us from our sins when he died for us on the cross. And my response to that is belief, faith, love, and repentance, and following him. I mean, it's kind of that simple. So my mom was going through her hope chest. So she gave gifts, and I'm fixing to show you. Here's one of the things she gave me. And it's this old Watkins Hearthside cookbook, and I believe it's from the late 1950s. This was my grandmother's. All right, my grandmother actually sold Watkins, and she could sell ice to an Eskimo. Y'all, my Momo, we called her Momo, was the most loving, accepting, strong woman I ever knew, really. So anyway, my mother had these that were Momos, and she wanted to give it to me, which is wonderful. Y'all, if you don't have old cookbooks like this, or old like household hints, Heloise household hints, or the Betty Crocker has stuff out like that, Watkins has stuff out like, the old ways, like you can mix turpentine and toothpaste and get out any stain on any piece of clothing. I don't even know if that's true, but you know what? That's an example of what you'll find in these books. They're lost treasures. They're lost treasures. So this is a treasure to me now, not only because it was my mama's, but because it has useful recipes in it. They're not super long and they're not super fancy, and that's what I like. So when I got it, and I opened it, there's things that are stuffed in here, and this is one of them. It's a recipe for peanut brittle, and it's in my Momo's handwriting, and I find that priceless, actually. Her name was Leela May, and so this is in Leela May's handwriting, and it's peanut brittle On the stove. On the stove, peanut brittle. There was also, this is funny, y'all will remember, many of you remember this. I remember this. A Jack LaLanne. Y'all remember Jack LaLanne? Oh, no, it's not Jack LaLanne. Well, I remember in the mornings, do y'all remember he had a little show sometimes to do the exercise? Back in the day, man, that was early 70s. I don't know. No, this is not Jack LaLanne, apparently. This is Joe Bonomo. And it's an exercise booklet. I guess Momo thought she probably might start partaking of that. But you know, this has all these great, I love this kind of art, y'all. Anyway, this is a treasure. All right. Not only because it's useful, but man, oh man, if you can find anything with your grandparents' handwriting, isn't it, doesn't it mean something to you? It does to me. And so I wanted to share this with you. And if you can find these kinds of books, you need to have a library of them. If you can, get on eBay, find you something cheap. But let me go into what happened yesterday and tie it all together. We're going to go to Revelation chapter 3 here in a little bit. Yesterday, when I woke up in the morning, I went outside y'all, you know I'm an early riser. Okay, I'm at 4 o'clock, okay? Well, I get up early in the morning and I went outside because the dog has to go out. And we have these great horned owls in our trees, in our big pine trees. So, I go out with my dog just in case those owls decide to think that toy poodle might be on the menu that day. So I went out and I was watching her, and it hasn't been super cold here in the panhandle of Texas this week. It felt different. The air felt different, but it was dark. So I was like, I don't know what I'm feeling. It nearly feels like humidity. I mean, I'm just saying that we live in a very dry climate. And it's just like, when you do feel humidity, you're like, what is that? I don't know what that is. So I went inside and I was like, Mike, I don't know. The air feels different. I don't even know what it is. Well, when the sun came up, y'all, it was so foggy. We had about a half a block, if not less, visibility. That is how thick the fog was. Now, I assure you, we are not used to fog where I live, all right? We were solid, locked in fog. And I thought, well, when the sun comes up all the way, the wind will start blowing on this fog will go away. Y'all, the fog did not dissipate until 10:30 in the morning. I was called out on kind of an unscheduled trip to the next town that I could not avoid. I had to get in the car and go to the next town. I'm not going to give you that story. It's not even all that interesting, but I had to go to the next town and I had to drive in the fog. All right. I was a nervous wreck. All right. I'll just give you that right away. But I promise you, I thought, I don't know who's going to come up behind me, and I don't know what I'm going to come up upon because I stinking cannot see. I nearly can't see in front of the hood of this car. That's what it felt like. Now, where we live in Texas, y'all, the speed limit says 75, but everybody goes 85 to 90. All right, that's just how we roll. I know. So, I was worried. Now, I wasn't driving fast, I assure you. But I thought, what if some crazy person thinks that they are going to have to be, like they can drive in this fast? That's crazy. So I went on this trip, came back to the house. Once I got back to the house, man, I had to sit on the couch and drink a cup of coffee and just kind of, decompress a little bit. And then I had a piece of pecan pie. That helped me too. And then I got to thinking. Y'all, I got to thinking. Yeah, may know where I'm going with this. When you cannot see, it is, you are at the mercy of whatever is in the mist. There's no clarity. There's no shapes that are clear. There's no path that is clear. It's foggy. Brain fog is, we all know our brains do that even without weather fog. You know what I'm talking about. But with this, I was just like, this is the perfect, this is the way it looks like when you don't know Jesus. And even when you do know Jesus, sometimes our paths, get foggy. Hang on. So, about 10:30. The sun came out big and bright. The fog just, y'all know how fog does it, just poof, went away. And it was warm. We ran the air conditioner. It's February, y'all. We ran the air conditioner at our house last night. Not all night, but like in the evening. And we're going to have to do it again today because it's hot again. I'm fixing to go sit outside in the sun after this. But I will tell you, just like the briefest blow of the wind, and all the fog went away and everything was crystal clear in my vision again when I looked outside. So it reminded me that when you are a believer in Jesus Christ, and we are all believers, or if you don't know him, now is the time to become a believer. He makes things clearer for us in our spiritual vision most of the time. If it's ever muddy, it's because of our own humanness. And we all know 1 Corinthians 13, everything is in part now. We see in part, we hear in part until the perfect comes, until Christ comes. We know that, all right? I know that not everything is crystal clear, but with Jesus, it is like the sun coming out, and he blows the fog of your life away so you can see clearer. One prayer that's prayed in the midst of mist can absolutely, within minutes, establish a clarity of mind and heart that nothing else on this earth can. It's supernatural. It's miraculous, in my opinion. And it reminded me of this passage in the Bible. This is Revelation 3, and I know I've read it to you before because this is one of the passages the Lord dealt with me back in the day about my own life. But I won't go into that story now. What I love about there are a couple, we all know there's lots of stories about blind and see. I was blind, but now I see. The blind man that was healed, that Jesus healed. Also, the two that were on the way to Emmaus, and when Jesus appeared to them and then broke the bread, suddenly they could see it was Jesus, and then he disappeared, and they went back to Jerusalem. There's lots and lots of things like the stories like that where suddenly spiritual sight is given, and that happens when you believe in Jesus Christ, even in the midst of crises, when things aren't clear to you. And granted, it may not happen in minutes. It'll happen in God's time, and it will be fine, and it will be perfect. It may not be the way you want it. I could tell you stories. I won't right now. All right, Revelation 3, verse 15. This is Jesus speaking. I better take another drink of water. I know he's talking to the church in Laodicea. I know all the things you do, that you are neither hot nor cold. I wish that you were one or the other. We say piss or get off the pot. That's what we say where I'm from. I don't know if you say that or not. And if that offends you, I didn't. It's just an analogy, okay? Do one or the other. Verse 16, but since you are like lukewarm water, neither hot nor cold, I will spit you out of my mouth. You say, I am rich, I have everything I want, I don't need a thing. And you don't realize that you are wretched and miserable and poor and blind and naked. That's what it felt like in the fog yesterday for me. Verse 18, so I advise you to buy gold from me, gold that has been purified by fire. Then you will be rich. Also buy white garments from me, so you will not be ashamed by your nakedness, and ointment for your eyes, so you will be able to see. Now, basically, he's saying, invest in me. I'm a sure bet. He is. Don't love this world too much. Don't love this country too much. Don't love our president too much. Put your hope and love in Jesus and faith in him. And when he says ointment for our eyes, even Paul, there's another example. The Apostle Paul, when he was blinded on the road to Damascus, and then Ananias went to him, laid his hand on him, and the scales fell off his eyes. That's what it feels like. So if you're not sure, if you're in the fog, pray for the ointment. God, touch me with your holy ointment so that I can see clearer. And basically, yeah, like I'm saying, invest in Jesus. So, and ointment for your eyes so you will be able to see. I correct and discipline everyone I love. So be diligent and turn from your indifference. Look, I stand at the door and knock. If you hear my voice and open the door, I will come in and we will share a meal together as friends. Those who are victorious will sit with me on my throne, just as I was victorious and sat with my Father on his throne. Anyone with ears to hear must listen to the Spirit and understand what he is saying to the churches. So, I'm going to leave that with you. Let him clear your fog. It feels a lot better when you can see what's out there, if that makes sense at all. I also want to tell you quickly that I am going to try to post Bible verses on this channel as much as possible. And they're going to be in shorts, YouTube shorts. I encourage you to just tap into those every day. Just if you can't listen to this long one, if as often as I can give these, then just tap into the Bible, to the Holy Scriptures. I put the video before this, the short. Go to the shorts and see. I'm making those. Okay, so I'm doing that in the morning after I pray, and like, Lord, what do I bring? What do I bring to the channel? And so if he gives me a verse, I'm gonna put that in some kind of short form so you can just click on it and read it and be encouraged that day. Just watching a short and reading one single Bible verse. All right, y'all. I think that's it. Make sure your treasures are where they need to be. Make sure whatever is your treasure, that it is worth having and is of great value. Truly, this, this we all know is the supreme treasure. Spend time in it. Spend time praying. And if you're too tired or too much in the middle of disaster in your life, know that others are praying for you in the body. You're not alone. You're not alone. All right, that's it. Stay safe, America. This is Gina Lima Charlie. I'm out.